We start off the Sportsmax zone already refreshed with Powerade, Minute Maid and Dasani, and are locked in for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. With the series locked at 1-1, the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets will continue their face battle for the Larry O'Brien Trophy at the FTX Arena in Miami. Their 111-118 victory in Game 2 meant the Heat became the first team to defeat the Nuggets in Denver in these playoffs, ending a 9-game winning streak. Superstar Jimmy Butler says it's all about the attitude of his team.
I just think nobody cares on our team. We're not worried about what anybody thinks. We're so focused in on what we do well and who we are as a group that at the end of the day, that's what we fall back on. Make or miss shots, we're going to be who we are because we're not worried about anybody else. It's how it's been all year long, and that's not going to change. So that's what I think it is. I think it's the I don't give a factor.
Meanwhile, the Nuggets star man, the two-time MVP Nikola Jokic, says he feels communication and effort will be essential for his unit.
I mean, it's communication. I think it was the main word, just to then don't get them wide open looks. Yes, we know they're gonna score. Yes, we know they have talented players, but we cannot give them open looks, and that was the main key.
Well, joining us to preview this game are our two NBA experts, Alister Albert and Kimani Friend. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
All right, so I'm going to start with Kimani because, Alister, you're here with us every day. Kimani, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking about Game 3? Do you expect Miami Heat to continue on the momentum because they won Game 2? Or do you expect the Nuggets to rectify the errors that we would have seen and come back stronger?
Well, I do expect the Denver Nuggets to come back after that, Game 2 loss. I expect a new and improved team with better effort, more discipline, especially on the defensive side, not missing a lot of coverage, staying within the system, playing more together. Like I said before, Denver, at every position, they are bigger, they're more athletic, and they have more talent. What the Miami Heat is doing a good job right now is sticking to that culture where they're that grit, the discipline, where they're that team where nobody's bigger than the individuals. And they're playing as a collective. And the difference between Game 1 and Game 2, as you saw, was the three-point shooting. For the Miami Heat to win this series, they're going to have to continue to shoot the ball at a high level. From behind the three-point line, and the perimeter, hitting perimeter shots.
Right.
And still getting that contribution from everybody.
Yeah, and Kimani, you mentioned just now the size of the Nuggets, and that has been a massive talking point versus this Miami Heat team. However, in Game 2, coach decided to bring in Kevin Love. And many people who support the Miami Heat felt as if, that assisted in that size factor discussion. What say you about that?
Oh, definitely. I thought that Coach Ford did a great adjustment in bringing Kevin Love. I mean, as you guys saw, he didn't play much in the Boston series, but with the size of the Denver Nuggets, it was especially important for him to bring him in to negate the inside presence of Aaron Gordon. When you saw that he was guarding him and then he moved Bam Adebayo to the 5 where he could concentrate more on Jokic. You could see that Jokic wasn't, yes, he's going to get his point. He's going to do his thing. And there's not much, he's the best player to me right now on the planet. But having that size now gave Jimmy Butler to focus on a Jamal Murray so that he wasn't getting the easy basket and be that disruption that he has been all series.
Yeah. Well, Alister, your question is, we heard from both lead of the teams, right? We heard from Jimmy Butler, we heard from Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, he stressed on communication and the teams just rectifying areas that, of course, they messed up in Game 2. Jimmy Butler a bit more confident. Who do you think has the edge mentally going into Game 3?
The edge mentally, I'll say it's Miami.
And the only reason why I say that is because, like Jimmy Butler says, they haven't changed anything about their identity and how they played this game from the start of the playoffs. You know, they've played with a little bit of house money, and they've kind of been the underdog who's played loosely and just played with that team culture, like Kamani mentioned, and, you know, playing hard and playing gritty and you know, just mucking it up and being very feisty to kind of will their ways to wins and elevating their game every time they move on to the next round. What I kind of think has been the downfall for Denver has been their mental lapses and their defense. And, you know, that's a lot of what, you know, we saw from Mike Malone when he spoke at the press game conference after game 2, where he said, you know, it's all about efforts and everything. And, of course, Nikola Jokic alluded to that there as well. You know, there were a lot of situations where we saw open shots, like, of course, that kind of led to them shooting, Miami shooting as well as they did. 4-point plays, you know, because they were fouling on 3-point shots and everything. So there's the discipline that we saw in game 1, you know, that was mentioned in the post-game press conferences as well, that they were playing defense without fouling. That was not the case in game 2. They need to definitely sharpen that up, because I think if they continue to think about it as they have, and kind of really let it start to sit that, you know, oh, Miami is actually really giving us trouble, then they could start to lose their composure even more and their confidence. So I think it's a mental thing for them, and you know, correct the defense lapses that they've had so far.
Yes, another concern is the use of the Nuggets bench. Do you feel, in your estimation, based on what we would have seen, that the Nuggets need to go deeper into their bench if they are to come up trumps?
I mean, that's a good question, but I don't think so. I think Mike Malone has kind of stayed with that 8-man rotation, not really going any further than Bruce Brown, Christian Braun, who's the rookie, and who's the last guy? Jeff Green. That's the 8-man rotation that he's used. And what you find religiously in playoffs is that coaches stick to a very shorter lineup. Of course, he could go a lot deeper. He has Reggie Jackson, veteran on that team, DeAndre Jordan, who probably would not be really useful in this series because he's more of a lob threat. You know, their offense is not really stuttering or sputtering. It's just that their defense, especially their perimeter defense, is the difference in this series. So I don't think he necessarily needs to go deeper into the bench. I think they need to continue to do what they're doing, maintain that confidence and kind of believing in themselves and making the shots that they normally do on a regular basis, and just being a lot more focused on D. What we've seen in the series so far is Miami moving from a below league average 3-point shooting team, shooting 34% in the regular season, to now being over league average and the best team in the whole of the postseason, shooting 39% from 3. So whether it be the bench or the starters, it's a matter of them keying in on the defense and just continue to provide the offensive spark that they do, because offensively, just by looking at the averages, they're averaging 106 points a game. Miami's 102. So the offense is fine. It's just a matter of continuing to do the things defensively that will help them win the game.
Right, Kimani, this one is for you. In game 2, the Heat, of course, caught fire in the fourth quarter. Do you think Coach will, of course, find a way to counteract what the Heat has been doing in that fourth quarter?
Well, I mean, Coach Malone, like, basketball is a game at first, momentum. Everybody is going to make runs. And you're going to expect that Miami are going to be making runs, especially when they are playing at home. And I expect that Coach Malone is going to make that adjustment. I believe that he's going to stick to the middle game plan. They're going to play some pick and roll at the top with Murray and Jokic. That's been working them out. Continue to make Jokic the facilitator, going through him on the offense, find ways to get other guys open and try to get some open shots. Miami, on the other hand, I believe they're going to start love again. I mean, because the success that they had in game 2, and pretty much stick to the same game plan, because if it ain't broke, why are you going to fix it? Like I said before, it's going to be important for them. They got to keep hitting shots and still getting that excellent play from their role players that we're talking about. Duncan, Max Strauss, Khalid Martin, who was sick in the last game, and Cole.
Right. And Alister, as we just heard Kimani said, if it's not broken, we shouldn't fix it. But any reports or updates on Tyle Herro, whether he plays, of course, tonight?
So far, Eric Spoelstra is kind of not committed to saying anything further than what we've known so far. He said that, he's still not ready yet to play or suit up. He's making a lot of progress. He's like what he's seeing. But, of course, the game is tomorrow night. So, they're probably going to wait until closer to game time to say that, he's going to play or not. All the expectations were for him to be leading up to game 3. That would have been the end of the 6 to 7 week period he was supposed to be out, so he might be in. But whether or not he's in or not, I don't think he's going to really disrupt the flow and the rotations that are there right now, because he'll probably have to just kind of sit behind what Kimani just said, not broken and don't fix it. Let the team kind of run as it is and come in and play spot minutes and kind of provide a little bit of a decoy and three-point shooting when he actually hits the flow.
Yeah, well, as we get ready to leave, I'll let Kimani get the last word. Kimani, do you think Tyle Herro plays if he's okay?
I did see some report that Tyle Herro doesn't want to disrupt the rhythm, and that is something that we have to think about. The Heat has been playing so well during the playoffs, and normally in basketball, I can tell you that when a player gets injured and you have another player that step up, there is always the next man up. You don't want to disrupt that chemistry that's always going on, the rhythm of the players, because everybody has their routine. So with Tyle Herro, it can be tricky. You have to find that balance. Keep him on the bench, use him in spurts, they need just to get his feet wet back again, or throw him in the game, because he did average 20 points a game during the regular season, and maybe risk disrupting the whole flow of the game with the other players. So it's going to be kind of tricky. So Coach Fogg going to have to make a smart decision when it comes to that.
All right, well, gentlemen, as usual, it's a pleasure chatting with both of you. We look forward to talking again. I feel like after game 3, we'll have a clearer picture as to who's winning this one.
Definitely.
All right, thanks so much. Let's take a quick break and come right back. We have some cricket to talk about, and this time West Indies are winning, so it's a good topic.